Hi, I'm Nirtya. I'm from Chennai, and today I'm going to narrate a fairy tale, one of which I read, during the course of this workshop. The story is called "The Handless Maiden." I guess some of you would be familiar with the story. All right, here I go. Once upon a time, there lived a miller who was going into poverty. He was not getting any new work. He was not able to support his family. One day, he was in the forest cutting firewood, and he was lamenting loudly about his current crisis. At that point of time, a stranger came on the way. Hello. The miller turned around and saw that there was a stranger looking at him and greeting him. He was he was surprised to see a stranger because he never sees anybody in the forest at that point of day. Hello, who are you? I am a well-wisher. I see that you are struggling and I would like to help you. You can go to your home now and you will see everything that you need for the rest of your life. But who are you? Like I said, I am a well-wisher. I will give you anything and everything you need for your life if you will give me what is behind you. The miller thought for a moment. He only had an apple tree behind him. He thought, what's the big deal? It's just an apple tree. Okay, you can take whatever is behind me. The stranger nodded and smiled wickedly. All right, I will come after 3 days and take what is behind you. And he left. The miller rushed back to his home. His wife was waiting for him. Hey, you are back. Look at what has happened. There's so many pots and boxes full of jewels and gold and silver here. I don't know how they came into our house. I was in the house all the time and I just turned around and see all of this is lying around. The miller then said, hey, there was a well-wisher in the jungle when I was cutting firewood. He promised to give us this in exchange for what was behind me. And it was just an apple tree behind me. The wife was shocked. Oh no, it was not the apple tree that was behind you. I had sent our daughter to the jungle to support you, to help you. And I think the stranger had seen our daughter and is asking her in exchange for all these gifts. What have you promised? And to whom have you promised? It looks like you have met with the devil. Oh no. The miller was shocked. I didn't realize our daughter was in the forest. What would we do now? Please beg with the devil, his wife cried. Let him not give us anything. Let our daughter be with us, safe. But the daughter of the couple was a brave girl. She understood the difficulties that her parents had been going on. So she walked up to them and said, don't worry, mother. Don't worry, father. We will deal with the devil in his own terms. I am sure God will help us. So this daughter, she was such a noble, honest, and pious girl. She prayed every day. She did all that was expected of a good young woman. And she was a very brave soul. So after 3 days, when they were expecting the devil to come back, she cleaned herself fully. She bathed, washed, she cleaned up the whole entire house. And he drew a circle and sat inside the circle, waiting for the devil. Now, the devil cannot touch or take away people who are clean inside and outside. So when he came in and asked the miller, where is your daughter? I have come to take her away in exchange for all the goods that I gave you. The miller pointed him to his daughter. He looked at her. Oh no, I cannot take her when she is so clean. She shouldn't be this clean. Don't give her any water. Let her not wash herself. I will come back tomorrow. And he left. The miller followed the instructions of the devil because he was so scared. He didn't know what to do. So he gave no water to his daughter to wash herself for the next day. The next day, the devil came back. But he was surprised that the girl was still very clean. How did that happen? The young girl, the smart and brave one, she had cried the entire night and used her tears to clean herself. And she was still clean and noble inside and outside, and the devil couldn't touch her. So he said to the miller, "You are tricking me. You and your daughter are fooling me. Cut her hands off so she can't clean herself any further. I will come back again tomorrow and I will take her, but you should cut her hands off right now." The miller was shocked. He begged the devil, "I cannot do this to my daughter. Please leave us alone. You can take back everything that you gave to us, but please leave us alone. I cannot cut the hands of my daughter away." The devil was adamant. "You have to do this or I will destroy all of you." The miller turned to his daughter in tearful eyes. "I don't know what to do." The brave girl said, "Father, you promised the devil to give him what he wanted. You have to do what he has asked you to do. Cut my hands off. Don't worry. God will help me. God will be with me." So the father, as hard as it was for him, cut the hands of his daughter. The daughter cried all day, all night, and she still managed to clean herself with her tears with just the stumps of her hand. The devil came again the next day and was shocked to see that none of his ideas were working. And the girl is still so pure, so clean, and there's nothing he could do to take her away. He was so angry, but he had already attempted 3 times and there was nothing he could do. So he left, saying, "I will come back another day and I will take what is mine." The father was relieved, but he was also very sad that his daughter now has no hands. So he goes to his daughter and begs her for a forgiveness. "But don't worry, my dear daughter. I'm always going to take care of you. I'm always going to be with you." But the daughter feels bad. She understands that without having hands, she's not of much use to her parents. And she just doesn't want to be a burden to them anymore. She says to her father, "It's okay, father. I will go and find my way and my life. Don't worry about me." And so she walks and walks. And she goes into the city where she lives. And across and away from the city, she walks into the woods for a long, long time. She's very tired and hungry. And she then notices that far away she could see a lot of fruit trees, finally something to eat. So she runs towards the trees and then finds out that the garden full of trees is separated by a moat filled with water. She has no hands. "Oh no, I'm so hungry. Those fruits look so delicious. That would be enough for me. But now I cannot swim without my hands. What do I do? God, please help me." An angel appears when she prays to God. She is so surprised and also so grateful that somebody has come to help her. The angel said, "My dear girl, God has sent me to help you. You are one of the most noble, most pure souls that ever existed. Tell me what you want. I want to have those pears. There are pear trees out there," said the girl. The angel dried up the water in the moat, so the girl could cross the moat and go into the garden. So she walks into the garden, unknown that the garden is protected by a gardener and that the garden belongs to the king of the country. She didn't know that. The gardener is watching. He's already counted the number of pears that has appeared on the trees in his garden for today. And then he realizes that this girl is plucking a pear and eating. She has no hands, so she's just plucking the fruit with her mouth and eating it from the tree directly. And just beside her, he could see an angel. He is surprised and decides that there's some spirit has come into the garden. And so he stays quiet. He doesn't go to chase them away. The girl eats one pear and then falls asleep under the tree, tired and weary. The next day, the gardener collects all the fruits and takes it to the king. The king notices that the count of fruits that the gardener gave the previous day is not the same as the number of fruits he has brought. What happened to the one missing fruit? The gardener says, "My dear Lord, you wouldn't believe what I saw in the garden yesterday. There was an angel and there was a spirit with no hands who ate this fruit out of the tree." The king says, "Are you sure? Did you really see an angel and a spirit?" "Yes, my lord." "Well then, let us go into the garden today with the priest and let us find out what the truth is." So the next day, the king, a priest, and the gardener go into their garden. The girl has then by then woken up and is ready to eat another fruit. So they see the girl eating the fruit and the angel watching her beside her. The king walks up to them along with the priest and asks, "Who are you? Why have you come to my garden? What do you want?" The girl narrates her story to the king and the priest. And the priest says, "You must be such a noble soul, and that is why the angel has appeared in front of you and has helped you." The king is very taken away by the girl's story. He's very touched and he says, "Nobody in my kingdom has to suffer like this. I will take care of you. Come with me into my palace." And over the days, the king is so impressed with the girl and her nobility that he falls in love with her and decides to marry her. They get married, and then he has to go to the battlefield one day. So he tells his mother, the mother queen, "I will send letters when I can, but until then, please take care of my wife. If she has a baby, please take care of the baby too." And so he goes into the battle. And after a few months, his wife, the young girl, she gives birth to a baby boy. So the mother queen decides to send a letter to the king. He sends it through a messenger, saying that a cute little baby boy has been born to them. The messenger, on his way to the battlefield, decides to rest for a bit. And the devil, who had been waiting for an opportunity to get back the girl that he couldn't, decides to play his wicked ways. He exchanges the message that the mother queen has sent through the messenger with another letter, which says that the queen has given birth to an invalid baby. He is hoping that the king would be angry. And so the messenger takes the letter that the devil has given without knowing that the letters have been exchanged. He goes into the battlefield, he meets the king and gives him the letter. The king is very saddened to see that his baby is not a fine baby. But he loves his wife so much. So he writes back a letter saying, "It doesn't matter how my baby is. We're going to take care of him anyways." And he writes a letter back and gives back to the messenger to take it home. The messenger, on his way back to the kingdom, once again takes rest. And the devil once again exchanges the letter. And this time in the letter, what did he say? He says, kill my wife and child. I don't want to see them ever again. When the messenger sends a message, gives a message back to the mother queen, she is shocked. Oh no, what has the king ordered me to do? I cannot kill the queen and her child. But it's the king's orders. There's nothing I cannot do. She goes to the queen and says, my dear daughter, the king has ordered me to kill you, but I don't want to do it. Please go away from the kingdom and never come back again. Take care of yourself and your child. There's nothing I can do to help you. And so she secretly sends the queen and her son away from the kingdom. And instead, she kills a deer, takes the eyes out of the deer, and saves it so that when the king comes, she can show that she had taken care of his orders. Well, the king comes after winning the battle, after several months. He comes rushing into the palace to see his beloved wife and child and realizes they are not in the palace. He asks his mother, Mother, where are my child and my wife? The mother queen is surprised. Didn't you ask me to kill them? I've killed them. Look at your wife's eyes. See there. You asked them to kill me, and I followed your orders. And now the king and his mother realize what has happened, that they have been tricked by the devil, that both their messages have been exchanged. The mother queen then says the truth to the king. My son, I didn't know what to do when I saw those orders. I thought I had to follow the orders, but I secretly didn't follow. I sent your wife and child away from the kingdom. They must be somewhere in the forest, somewhere, maybe in another kingdom, another country, I don't know, but I hope they are still out there. The king is so saddened. Oh no, my beautiful beloved wife has already been through so much of difficulties, and now she is living somewhere with my child. I don't know. I'm going to go to the end of the world until the sky is blue. I'm going to go and find my wife and my child and bring them back with me. I will not eat or drink until I do that. And so he goes out in the forest and he's searching for them for more than 7 years. Meanwhile, what happened to the queen and her son? She went out into the forest and on she went for a long time. And then one fine day, she meets another angel. After all, she's such a lovely girl, which God loves very much. And so he has now once again sent an angel to take care of her. The angel says, I'm going to take care of you and your child. Don't you worry. And she lives with the angel in a small hut in one of the forests for 7 years. The king, searching for his wife and child, comes in to the forest one day and then meets with the angel. And he asks her, angel, did you see my wife with my child? The angel is pretty sure that this is the king that the girl has been waiting for. And so she takes him inside. When the king sees his wife, he's surprised that his wife now has hands because a good angel has grown the hands of the girl. And he also sees that his son is tall and is not an invalid, and he's just fine. He's a bit doubtful. Are you really my wife? My wife didn't have hands. To that she says, no, the good angel, she grew my hands back. Yes, I am your wife, and this is our son. And so they meet again, they embrace, and they go back to the palace and live happily ever after.